Welcome back to our D&D game.
Greetings.
Didn't play last week. How did you have fun watching Bring Me the Horizon?
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, Ollie
And
was
I
so
feel-
sexy.
Oh, he is pretty good, juicy.
You even got a nice souvenir, didn't you, Dre?
Yeah, I got a cold from it.
All right. I mean, a lot of the times people get something like syphilis seeing Bring Me the Horizon, so
Just
Oh.
what through the air? You just,
I got
Yeah.
that too.
It's just
Just
in the mosh
airborne.
pit.
Yeah, I got to
Yeah.
go in the mosh pit and it was really fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I saw Bring Me the Horizon 11 years ago.
They
How's
were
that
a
wondering?
very different band.
They
11
were.
years ago.
They were. It was just after their first album came out, I think.
Before they were cool.
Yeah, before no, they were definitely not cool then either. All right. Well, anyway, yeah. How's everyone doing? Good to play some D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's
Can
do it.
folks
When
hear
you were
me?
13.
No, we can't hear you, Zach.
Did you have to go
Oh,
with your
okay.
mum or dad to the gig?
I went with Harry and my mum and
Oh.
Harry's mum.
Aww.
I remember that. That's
Like a play date.
Wow.
I'm
remember
really.
that
I
happened.
imagine your mum loved hearing all the lyrics about killing whores and hanging himself.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I remember that happening, Mike. Oh my god.
I don't think I knew you.
It was
then.
just after I met you.
Yeah.
It was just, I remember.
it?
I remember you were talking about it like years and years and years ago, like at least about 10, 11 years ago.
Right. Yeah, it might have been then. Yeah. Wow, time flies. Oh dear.
What? Not being a good last couple of minutes, but anyway.
Right. Okay. Well, existential crisis is over. Zach, no, we can't hear you, so maybe that will have to be solved at some point. But let's begin, maybe, and then if let's begin because we've already wasted enough time. All right. So in that case, if everyone's got their drinks and all that jazz, last we left off, the Clive Five had returned to Erstwalt from finally putting an end to the threat of the Elder Brain. After heading back to your keep near the town of Darkbridge, you discovered that the local peasants had begun to organize in a sort of union against you, demanding better rights and more money and all that stuff. Despite your actually historically quite generous treatment of the peasants compared to a lot of the other people around here.
Ungrateful bastards.
Yeah. I mean, that was it was certainly suspect. But while deciding on what necessarily to do about the situation, Morna and Chinook decided to attempt to spy on their leader, this traveling member of an organization named the Council of the Unseen, named Miss Farrow. And upon entering her room during the time where she was due to be sleeping, the two accidentally triggered a trap that she'd set, which set off a bomb which destroyed the tricky pigeon, and made the people of Darkbridge think that Miss Farrow had been killed in an assassination attempt, or not really an attempt, but just an assassination. So then the protesters ended up turning up at your house. The locals that were organizing were organizing outside, trying to make their voices heard, when there was this apparent miracle, a strange radiant light coming from the local vicinity, the trees, from a clearing in the trees. Investigating what was going on, along with a lot of the people who'd come to protest you, you saw Miss Farrow returned, seemingly from the dead. At least that's what she wants people to think, Lily. Dressed in a white silk robe, her hands open as a peaceful presence surrounds her. The crowd sort of murmur among themselves as she begins to speak. My followers, I ask that you forgive these people of their sins. They knew not what they were dealing with. It is not your responsibility to judge them, only to let their souls be weighed when the end times return. And the people, again, murmur amongst themselves. The old man is sort of props himself up against a tree, trying to like clutching at his chest. Clearly, he's quite shocked at what's happening. Scrimshaw, you can see that there's some sort of illusion going on here. around the radiant light around her. The clothes seem to be hers, but the even the peaceful presence that surrounds her seems artificial in some nature.
Right. So otherwise, she just looks as she did before.
Yeah.
Or... Okay.
You notice that actually, now that she's got more of her arms bared in this white robe, where before she was wearing maybe like a jacket or something, she has these sort of quite weird geometrical tattoos that kind of go all the way up her arms that are sort of like glowing with like radiant light at the moment. And they sort of go over sort of her shoulders and then like onto her chest.
Well, like, back to the party, like, well, needless to say, that this is, not what she looks like.
What does
Can
she
you can you
look
see
like?
can you see those tattoos?
I don't know. What do they look like?
Can I do a perception check on them? Like, is
Uh,
there like because you said it's like geometric shapes, so I don't know if it's like
you want to like just like inspect them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're at a bit of a
make
distance.
make a perception check for me. Ah, natural 20. Nice. Okay, so the main body of them seems to be the sort of like almost like a flower of life type arrangement. Like they're very like they're very natural looking. They're almost like fractal in shape, and they sort of split off and come into this sort of like geometric patterns. And as you look at them more and more, they seem to be almost like slowly moving across her body. As you're sort of like, wow, suddenly the rain has completely started pouring outside my window.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah,
lag.
hear
I
that
thought
in
that
your
was.
mic.
I
I thought
thought
that
it
was. I thought that was static coming from your microphone.
No, let me just
Yeah.
close my window.
Well, I know what's coming in a few hours.
Whew. Okay,
Probably.
so that just came out of nowhere. It was almost yeah,
I
anyway.
had some pretty intense ones,
Yeah, one of the as you're sort of inspecting these tattoos, she begins to go into the crowd and she begins like touching all the members of the crowd and they sort of like begin like dropping on their knees and praying to her and she's sort of like her robe is sort of like bristling through the crowd as well, and you see that as she touches people, like a lot of the radiant light that's going from her tattoos are sort of going into the people, and she's sort of like maybe healing them.
How
By the gods, if she starts summoning doves as well, I think I'm going to puke.
how far away are we from her?
Not close, not that far, maybe 20 feet away.
Can Gira like move towards her in like supplication almost?
In what?
Like it's supplication, so like pretending that she's like all that. And can I cast anti-magic field on myself when I'm near her?
Okay, so remember last time we last session I said that there was
Oh,
a
did you
sort
wanna
of there was an anti-magic field that seemed to be around this area, which was strange.
Oh, so well, I'll do it anyway, but like
Yeah.
because I said it. But interesting.
Okay.
So she has magic going on.
Well, it seems to be some sort of artificial presence. It's quite hard to understand, like exactly how it's occurring. It's clearly an illusion of some sort, but it seems to not be interacting with this anti-magic field that seems to be over this area.
Hmm. Okay.
Is she real?
She's pretty sure she's real. I mean, all this stuff around her is bullshit, but she's very
Is it
real.
though?
She's there. Looks pretty much the same as before.
And that you watch as she goes. The crowd parts a little, and there's a bit of excitement coming from the crowd, as this peasant who's been like horrifically injured, like he's had his couple of legs amputated, is in sort of makeshift wheelchair, is sort of brought to her, and she walks over to him and kneels down, and she begins to murmur to herself, and the guy's legs slowly begin to regrow as this radiant light sort of begins to shine from her hands onto his stumps. and over the course of maybe 30 seconds, he grows his legs back and sort of gets up, and the entire crowd begins to jolt with excitement and cheer and shouting, "Miracle! It's a miracle!"
Oh my gods. Oh my gods.
I mean,
This
if
this
if
is
they,
a joke.
I mean, we could have done that if they had gone for the.
Literally, there is a spell for this exact purpose, and they're saying it's. Oh, God.
Just to confirm, the legs, they're real, right?
Those legs are real.
Okay.
The spell she cast was definitely the sort of.
How can you
Yeah.
just
Sorry,
cast
Zing.
a spell if it's an anti-magic field?
That is a very strange. That
Seems
is the
like-
question.
She's not
Yeah.
affected by
Yeah.
it.
It's not magic. It's like something else.
And in the same way that Tail could cast spells with his anti-magic field, maybe
Could he?
could he? I think I might be.
Did we ever see him actually cast a spell while that was up?
Oh, I can't remember.
You watched him cast spells, but his anti-magic field wasn't up when he was casting those spells.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it like a crystal instead of a?
I think it was from his sword, wasn't it?
When you first met him, he was charging up some sort of crystal for some reason.
Just go home. She told them to forgive us, so maybe they'll come back to work. I don't know.
Not so sure about that. We might need to get in some new hires. So what happens now?
She's continuing to go through the crowd, sort of healing people. She's speaking to people one-on-one, and they seem to be asking her questions, maybe about like loved ones that have passed away, and where they are. And she says, they're in the care, they're in the care of my people.
I think I might go and join in. Anyone else want to join in?
I'm curious to listen in on what the fuck is going on, but sure.
Depends what you mean by joining in. Is Morna going to try and heal people as well, or?
No, I meant just going to see what she's like, going a bit closer up, seeing if she's going to heal me. Maybe she will. I don't know.
What would she heal you of? You're fine.
Well,
Slept a little bit awkward tonight. Got a bit of a crick in the neck.
Oh
Though,
yeah, I
I
haven't
mean,
been
Garrett could
walking
sort that, I'm sure.
right since the last couple days, but I think that might just be my posture.
Yeah, and Morna, if you just punch me in the back, that'll probably sort it out. Straighten out the spine.
do you want me to punch you?
No.
Mm.
For the love of God, I've seen you kill people with those hands.
I could click your back if you'd like.
Yeah, we
Fuck off, you
Come
big,
here.
you
Why
big,
didn't you-
muscly, strong man.
Why don't you just come here? I'll cut you up a bit and send you in.
Please,
Let me
please.
punch you in the face. You'll get like a bloody face, and then she can heal you. And you can use it because you're magical. You can maybe see what she's doing while you're in there.
How about I disguise myself as a wounded man? I don't think she would want to help me.
It'd be hard to disguise yourself with the anti-magic field around.
Yeah, let me just punch you and go in and see what she's up to. Come on, Chinook. Hold him still.
Why are you punching me?
Because you know about magic, so you might be able to go in there and
So
see
does
what.
most of the party.
Yeah, but I've known Scrimshaw the longest, and he doesn't like being punched. And
You've
One
punched me
likes
enough
being
over that
punched,
year.
unless they're into that.
and Gira is really old, so I don't want to punch him. That leaves you.
If I could put Armor of Agathis on, I would.
Please.
Why not Roxon?
Because Roxon doesn't know anything about magic, so he might not be able to work out what's going on.
I
Plus,
wouldn't
it
have a clue.
Plus, it would take ages to make a
Please.
dent in Roxon.
Please be gentle.
All right. I'm gonna give him a black eye.
I'm gonna hold him so he doesn't flinch.
Are you just letting Mona hit you, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Mona socks you in the face. Quite a bit harder than you were potentially anticipating. Knocks you
Whoa.
flat on your ass.
All right, go and see what they're doing. We'll wait here.
Yeah, go get him, buddy.
You owe me. And then I start going towards the group.
Okay, so
Bloody face.
as you sort of, I mean, like the whole crowd obviously just saw Morna punch Shunok in the face, like, and like a lot of people are tutting and sort of going like, she, you know, like, heretics, heathens, sort of thing, like murmuring under their breath. But you push your way through the crowd until you become face to face with her. She turns around and looks at you. She seems to be about your height, face to face. It's quite strange. Like her height maybe like is a bit taller than what she was before. She looks you up and down and says, "And what can I do for you?"
I was just curious as to what was happening. I'm very, very curious as to what's happening. Also, I have a bloodied face. It hurts. I didn't want it to hurt, but now it hurts.
I think you'll survive.
Yes. Yes. But what? I'm pretty sure you didn't have those markings before. What? What is... What?
I am here to see my children into the end times.
Oh. Oh, okay. What
She like
end
when she looks you in the eye, she sort of smirks slightly, like she's not like your passive insight probably just you can just tell that she's not really pretending like that you actually she's trying to convince you of anything.
What end times?
Well, it's the prophecy when the children of Elora come.
Huh. And you mentioned they're your children. Are you?
No, they're not my children. These are my children, but the prophecy will be kicked off. The end times will be kicked off when the children of Elora come, and it is only the chosen ones who I can rally against them to defeat them.
Shit, did we tell Chinook about the children? Does he know? We must have talked about them at some point, right?
I think you've like caught Chinook up on everything.
Okay.
Huh. Okay. And I hear talk that you died and that you're back. How?
She turns around and says, "Even in the face of divine revelation, they still lie to our faces."
I
wanna-
I was literally just asking it how you got back. I wasn't saying any statement.
About your assassination.
I didn't try to assassinate you.
The crowd jeers. She says, "Only those who are pure of heart can survive the end times. Confess, repent, and you will join us."
I literally did not try to hurt you at all.
The crowd jostles and they're a bit angrier now. And she sort of puts her hand up and says, "Those who are misguided do not know their ways. He has a black soul, and he will pay for it."
I have a purple soul, thank you very much. Might be a little bit bruised, but I like purple better. And I turn back towards the party and I leave.
Yeah, the crowd sort of jeer at you a little bit as you leave.
Kind of approach her and just be like, So obviously, there's probably nothing we can really do to get this crowd against this, off this path you've got them on. But you mentioned the children. Do you happen to have any insider knowledge about that? When they might be coming? Because that might
they will
be
be
pretty
coming.
helpful.
Well, do you not know the prophecy?
Sort of, vaguely, though. If you maybe hearing it from your perspective might be helpful.
There's a lot of prophecies, to be fair.
Well, the end times will begin when the daughter of Titus returns and begins to prepare Erd and Orthaid for the return of the children of Elora. Then there will be a red moon. And when the red moon begins, then the forces of darkness will begin to invade, followed by the children of Elora.
Nice.
You don't happen to know the name of this daughter of Titus?
Well, it's me.
So you've literally come here to proclaim that you are the one to bring about the apocalypse and kill all these people?
No, I am going to protect them from the apocalypse.
Oh, so when you say prepare Erd for the children, you mean prepare Erd to defend against the children, not prepare Erd for the taking of the children.
Yes, to defend against the children.
Okay.
But
Sorry,
only
I
those
misunderstood.
who are pure of heart and follow the ways follow my ways will be able to survive the end times.
And what are your ways?
Well, I think I have explained myself. Justice, fairness, equality, healing, and anything that generally isn't selfish.
I'd like to kind of say this, try and like say this like more quietly, like to her, so it's not like to the crowd. It's kind of lead in. It's like, so look, if that's really your goal, then it would be beneficial to make allies of us. You know, like, why the deception? Why try to make villains of us? Like, when it's not true. You could probably deceive these people in some other way.
I don't know what you're talking about, she says and winks at you before she turns around and goes back into the crowd. She begins to go into the crowd, and the crowd begins to part slightly to let her through. And then you watch as she sort of looks up into the sky, and there's like the clouds above seem to like open up, and like a beam of light sort of shines down on her, and also the crowd of people who have gathered. As she begins to sprout two angelic wings from her back,
Are they real?
like
For the
white
love of God.
feathered. They are real.
Okay, so she's an Asimar,
Asuna.
probably,
Well,
or something
Carry on.
else.
carry on.
Okay, or metagaming, but
Well,
Yeah.
no, because we
Well, we know an
Rayleigh was
Asma.
an Asma.
okay, well, we'll see. Anyway,
Probably an Asimar.
and she begins to fly up into the air. And the crowds sort of all begin to fall to their knees, sort of in like this divine elation that they're seeing the returned prophet.
Okay.
We knew someone who could do that.
She begins to fly off back towards Darkbridge, and the crowd begins to sort of follow her.
No, no.
Does the flying last for a prolonged period of time?
She sort of it's more like a miracle thing that she flies around, and then eventually she lands, and then leads the procession back up the road to Darkbridge.
Okay.
That was all rather strange.
Do you think she knows Rainleaf?
God, Mona, just because they're Rasmos doesn't mean they all know each other.
I mean, how many Asmos have you seen? One,
Well,
She could-
maybe 2 now.
maybe two. They might know each other because I feel like there's not a lot of them.
Oh, John, you're being very presumptuous here. Who's to say it's
I'm
even
not.
an SMR?
As I said, it does she know Rainleaf?
It could be, for all we know, the daughter of Titus.
Oh, okay.
Potentially.
She doesn't look
she
like
was-
the daughter of Titus.
I mean, she was quite powerful. She had healing magic similar to yours, and the ability to nullify magic, and make an exception for herself. I'd never met anyone that was able to do that.
Well,
I mean, sure, all the fancy glowing and all that was just illusionary, but I mean, that was just for show. The power was there.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Also, what does this mean for our farm?
I don't think that's what matters here, Scrimshaw.
Yes, but
There's
that's
going to
what-
be a massive employment crisis here now.
I don't know. I'm quite concerned about the farm.
I don't care about the farm because we literally weren't planning to make any money off it anyway.
Well,
Yeah, but I mean, the upkeep of this place is going to start costing us money if we don't make anything off the farm, right?
We could just spend our time in our mansion. Our magical mansion. My magical mansion.
well, we could, but we also have a real one.
Remember, you also have a keep Roxanne.
Oh yeah.
Just it's got
wait,
this.
what?
Yeah, it's probably gathering dust now. It's got this
Yeah, I
problem.
forgot about that thing. It's probably been taken over by bandits by now, I'd imagine.
Sorry, can I just pause on this? You have a keep, Roxon.
Well, yeah, I was Wolfram's, knight, essentially. We do all get a keep.
Where in heavens is this keep?
Just outside the L.
Oh, good gracious.
Why have we never
Not as
been
nice
there?
as it, but you never asked.
You could have brought it up, perhaps?
Oh, that's right. It's actually Rexony-ish.
Is there
Not
is there
quite
anything?
outside the L.
Right, yeah.
is,
I
th-
was trying to remember where it was.
is that? Is there anything else? Do you have children there, or a wife,
No.
husband?
No.
He's living a double life, on his downside.
No, it's
Like his
just-
wife's like, "Did you have a good day at the office?" He's like, "Yeah."
Is there another party? What's going on? Are you
Oh, I
cheating on us,
I don't.
Ramslan?
No, don't go there. Just don't go. Just don't go to to where it is. Just
Oh.
don't go there.
He's
Come back
also
here.
he's also like a 20th level wizard, so he can just teleport back and forth. So it just keeps that bit on the down low while he's.
This
with
is a
us.
hobby.
You never asked.
You never asked if I was a master of wizardry.
I'm a master of wizardry, Roxon.
No. I mean, we can go there if you like, but I think we've got bigger concerns. There's not really much to do there.
It'd be nice to have a holiday home.
Well, no, because it's mine
It would be nice to have a holiday home.
that you pay for.
It would be nice to have a holiday home.
Well,
Have you
It's not
considered?
yours.
Have you considered
Timeshare.
paying? Have you considered now that this is, I mean, generally our primary abode, renting it out?
I should probably do that, yes, but it'll need some refurbishment. I imagine it's probably falling apart by now. Haven't been there, in a very long time.
Are you trying to turn Roxanne into a landlord?
I could be a good landlord. I wouldn't be stuck with all these stupid decisions about whether we beat up union members or not.
I mean,
I'd just beat up the tenants until they give me the money.
And
oh
that's
no.
pretty
May I suggest we park this conversation for a later point in time?
Yes.
Should we follow them into town, or just let them do their own thing?
I mean, I don't know what else we expect to figure out. They're clearly starting a cult to do something.
In all honesty, I can't just. It doesn't really seem much of a problem. I mean, yes.
Religions tend to start off pretty tame, and then they start executing people. Cough, cough. Tempest brand cough.
Certainly good for them to have some competition on their patch.
I would rather not have people killed in the name of religion. In any case.
Well, too bad.
Fortunately, it's a bit of a necessity around these parts, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah. We sort of have to. Maybe we could kill in the name of a religion. And then it'd be justified.
No! Please, no.
Kira, how does your storm feel about us killing people?
Well, if the storm wills it, then I suppose it's part of the natural order of...
I mean, we could just say it wills it, right?
No.
Well, no, I mean, I'm deeply troubles me greatly when sentient creatures are murdered. There's nothing that should be taken lightly, but if it is absolutely the
Alright, fine. Morna, your god, can we... No?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Morna's whole thing is killing people in the name of their religion.
Perfect. Well, there we
Yeah.
go then.
Well, we've gone off topic again. Can we please return to the topic at hand?
I thought killing people in the name of religion was the topic.
Yeah,
No.
that's what you said.
I don't mind killing some people in the name of my religion.
Well, hold
I'm
on,
not
there's
gonna do
no-
it in the name of somebody else's religion. But that's what you're talking about.
Well, we're doing your religion then.
Okay.
Settled.
Cool.
Do we all have to wear black and brood
No,
in the
I
corner?
don't wear black.
Do I have to kidnap children?
You don't have to. You don't have to.
But it's encouraged, right? It's encouraged.
No, only if they're like orphans or stranded or.
I
Badly
see.
behaved.
Well, we can make a couple orphans, right, guys?
Why are you so desperate to kidnap children, Rockstar?
I'm not. No. It's,
He wants
That's
them
what-
for his house. Make it feel
that-
hope.
yeah. Then I can make them clean my house.
I mean, they are easier. They are easier to kidnap than adults.
Yeah, and their
But,
little hands can get into the crevices and get rid of all the dust.
Oh my god.
Oh, we could just kidnap all the children of the workers and not give them back unless they work in our fields.
Yes,
That is
perfect.
horrific.
Is
That
that-
is horrible.
Is that better or worse than just beating them up?
We don't even need to make a cell. We can just get Scrimshaw to put up his cage around them, and then they can't get them out.
I mean, for an hour.
Yeah, and then you can just you do it again, right?
No.
All right. Well, we say if they don't go back to work in an hour, Chinook will fireball.
We could, however, put them in my demiplane.
That's a terrible idea.
I mean, we're not going to do this. But if we were
I-
going to do it, that would
But
be.
it's-
Why even suggest it, Scrimshaw? You horrible human being.
But
No,
it's-
you're not a human, are you? You
Well,
horrible
it's a-
person.
I'm not actually suggesting it. I'm just talking. I'm just speaking hypothetically. If we did do it, that would be.
I think
What to do, you
Roxanne.
know.
I think Roxanne is just gonna take whatever you say as suggestion.
Well, it's a good job that
If
it's
throwing
not
them in a
his demi.
demiplane-
It's a good job it's not his demiplane, then, isn't it?
If throwing them into a demiplane gets the workers back, then so be it.
I don't think that getting the workers back is what matters. I think what matters is there's a cult that very clearly tried to frame us for murder. It has it out for us.
Fine.
Like, I think we do need to deal with this organization because, I mean, sure, we can allow it to carry on its thing unless that thing is to slander us. And let me tell you, it would be a lot harder to work with anybody, anywhere, if you have the reputation of people who murder people.
I mean, true, but
Is
how exactly?
murdering
We can't
people the
exactly.
solution?
I think it would be fine.
Look, a lot of your work requires working with officials. And even if they agree with your goals or your aims, they have the public reputation to care about to carry on being officials.
Times we've saved this world, and
Yes, but you've seen the media, right? You've seen the newspapers, you've seen these people, how they react to you. They don't care about that. They see you as killers. You
Yeah,
need to
well,
work on your
yeah,
reputation.
but they're all irrelevant.
What I mean is, they're irrelevant to you, but not to officials. If you want to carry on having the backing of officials in such a way that they can help you, you need to care about your reputation a bit more.
Surely the officials in this case are the people that we were trying not to piss off that weren't the workers, the land barons and things like that.
I don't think you're getting my point.
No, I get it, it's just stupid. Just kill the workers.
My point is, this organization is going to carry on slandering you, and it's going to cause a lot of problems for you. It might even not end at slander.
Right, well, we shut them down now then.
But we don't know if this is the only pocket of it. It's tied to this Order of the Unseen, right?
I don't know. Probably.
If this is tied to the Order of the Unseen, maybe the Order of the Unseen would say, oh no, this happened wrongly here. Let's start another one further away.
Well, we can fly and teleport around.
I would rather not spend my time putting down cults.
Well, you do you.
So what's the plan then, people?
Well, I think, like it or not, I don't think there's anything we can do to get the people back on our side, to get them to believe what we're saying when she appears the way she does.
There are things we could do. They're not specifically honest things.
Like what?
Stage accidents.
Now you're talking my language.
You know, make them stage situations which prove her to be lying. She seems to state that we don't care about them, that we're awful people that don't want to help them. Make it difficult for them to believe that. Scrimshaw, you mentioned conjuring a Balgura before, right?
Yes.
Maybe don't have it massacre people or cause significant amount of damage, but a small enough rampage through the town, which we happen to stop.
What if the lady stops it instead?
Well,
I mean, if
we
she
could have
pops
one
down
of
that
us
anti-magic field, it will just disappear, and then it'll be clear that someone conjured it, and
No,
then
it won't just
who are they gonna
disappear
blame?
because wait. You summon it. You don't conjure it.
well,
Right.
There's not really much of a difference.
yeah, but
There is, because if you conjure something that's like usually not real, it's like magical. But if you summon something and that thing actually appears there,
yeah, but the magic bringing it to this plane will be dispelled, and it will be returned.
I don't think that's what happens with a summoned stuff.
No, it very much is.
It's a temporary summon. It's not.
But
permanent.
what, don't you have to? Don't you? Can you? There's. Wait. No, because you can not concentrate on it, and then it will just. And then it doesn't disappear.
It disappears
It goes
after
away
some
after a couple of.
time.
It goes away after after a matter of seconds.
Oh.
It's being held here by the magic, not anything.
Oh, I
It's
thought
like a
you just-
magical anchor keeping a ship in bay.
All right. Yeah, I get that. I just thought it was uh Oh my god. Words. I just thought it was like you summon it and then it's more like you teleport it here.
I have to maintain concentration on it to keep it here.
Oh, I thought if you lost concentration, it just goes rogue.
It
It
does
does,
go
but
rogue,
it
but then
stays for a little
disappears
while.
after a while.
It only stays for a little
Oh,
while, and then
okay.
the magic wears off.
Let's see.
Yeah. But one of us could run interference on her. You know, stall her, delay her. Besides, it doesn't even need to be a Balgur. It could be other things we could stage.
But regardless, I think the townsfolk would probably their minds would instantly jump to us as being the aggressors, the being the ones to
Not
bring
if
it
we're
out.
very
And
visibly fighting it.
if she tells them such, then they will believe it.
Hmm. Well,
I love how your
it's still a
suggestion was to
suggestion.
stage a false flag attack and make them get on your side.
I mean, these people were literally suggesting union busting a couple sessions ago. I don't know.
Now you're getting the gist of it. Well, yeah, that could work. Or anyone got any other ideas? Anyone we can ask for some help? You know, call in a favor, stage a mini attack on the city.
We always give it till the morning and see how they see what they feel like tomorrow.
I don't. Yeah, see if they cool off a little.
Don't
See
we
how
have
they wanna
other things
proceed.
we need to
I don't
sort
know.
out?
I don't really feel like this is a bad thing. I think we should just. Sorry.
It literally
just-
tried to frame us for murder, Morna. That sounds like a bad thing.
No, well, don't they? All they want
They
to do
framed
is
for
just.
worse.
Isn't it all they want to do is, stop the 4 children coming back, right? Why don't you just let them?
I don't see how framing us for murder fits into that.
They didn't frame us for murder.
They
did.
literally said that we did kill her, and then she came back from the dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I
happened.
missed that. Oh,
It is what it is.
Halcyon says, "Are we going back to Erstwalt then?
yeah.
That sounds like a plan.
It is getting a bit chilly out here."
Yeah. Brr. Can you
Just-
cook us up a nice hot meal, please, Halcyon?
Why? Just because I'm the woman of the house?
Yeah.
That's what we're paying you to do.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've already got stew on.
Nice.
See, this is why we like you, Halcyon,
Okay.
because you always think about things beforehand.
Yeah, that's a useful skill.
Yeah.
We don't
tend to do
We
very
We don't
well.
really have that skill.
No, we don't.
As you're walking back to Erstwalt, Halcyon's like, "So I didn't know that you pissed off a god."
We
But-
do.
Probably not a god. All the stuff around her was fake, apart from the wings. But we have met people before who have those. It's divine, I think, but not. It doesn't mean
might be a
she is a
mutant.
god. She was
You know-
powerful though.
You know, something does come to mind, though.
Right, Joe. You're breathing quite heavily into your microphone.
Oh, sorry. I'll put it away. Yeah, I'm having breathing troubles from my nose.
No, yeah, now I get it.
Oh.
Tough.
Something does come to mind. You might not like it, you might not believe it, but it is something that came to my mind.
Right.
You did have a wizard who was particularly fond of changing her body whenever she died.
Well, is she dead? I know who you're
I
talking
mean, yes, unless she, say, wasn't actually
you don't
dead.
think it's no, it's not.
I'm just throwing it out there. It might be a suggestion.
Well, if it is, then we best let Gothric know.
Oh God!
He'll be ecstatic.
Yeah, he'll be there in a moment's flash.
It's like I heard my waifu was.
Just comes as like,
I died 5 times on the way here to come and see.
I shot myself out of a cannon to get here.
yeah.
I broke every single bone in my body. My organs are literal liquid. Where is she?
Heal me, senpai.
I can imagine damage.
Yeah. All right. Well, you return back to Erstwhile. Halcyon opens the door and lets you in. Begins to begin boiling some water for some tea, and begins plating up on the dining table.
Ah,
So, do you think? I mean, you're not gonna like run away and leave me here on my own for a little bit, are you?
No! No! What would give you that idea? It's not like we've done that many times before.
Well, it's just that we didn't have potentially quite hostile people very close
Horde of
to
angry
here.
peasants.
Yeah, I'm just saying that maybe if you're gonna go somewhere, I can come with you. And
Are
we can
you
just lock up the
friends?
house.
You still friends with Wolfram?
Me?
Yeah, you. I know the rest of us aren't. I mean, I might be. He's never met me.
Why would I be friends
I
with
think
Wolfram?
Halcyon has a personal relationship with Wolfram.
I've never met the man.
Oh, okay.
No, he's the king. I don't
I mean-
I'm not really a noble. I'm just
Neither
like
are the rest of these people. Well, maybe Roxon. He is the son of a noble of a chieftain, so he might be the closest thing to a nobleman.
I just
You
had
own
a rich husband who mysteriously died. That's all.
I don't know why you had to put the words mysteriously in there. That makes me suspect you of murder.
I mean, I suspect he was murdered, but that's why it's mysterious.
you know what? It doesn't even matter. Then.
Have you tried investigating his death?
Well, it's quite hard
Okay.
once it's happened, you know.
Why would she investigate it when she never mind.
I mean, at the time.
Yeah, I mean, look where you are now.
Exactly. A lovely, nice house. There's a horse I look after.
Oh my
And
god.
it's like I have 5 children who come in and out of my house constantly.
I think Shunnick's gonna think mentally that Halcyon may or may not be the actual Lord of the Hells. But just puts that thought away.
No, Halcyon
in his
is Ashigal.
mind. Yeah, Halcyon is
This
Ashigal.
whole time.
You never suspected me.
No, we totally
Oh,
did.
wait,
You're
we
the most
didn't.
There's
evil
Clive as he
person
walks in
ever.
on 2 feet.
Yeah. He's like, oh shit, I didn't realize you guys were here.
Clive
I
is
was,
actually
I was
Owen
rehearsing. I was
Shandor.
rehearsing.
Clive is actually Shandir.
Yeah. Why did you turn me into a horse? Oh.
I mean, we could try
That's a
dispelling
good
magic on him, just in case.
I'm very curious what
What
would
if
happen
only a
now.
magical spell is what's keeping Clive alive, and if you dispel it, he dies?
Shit.
Then not do that then.
Mike starts writing notes down.
So, yeah, Clive 5, what would you like to do?
Tempted to maybe give it to the morning for them to cool off a bit.
I don't think they're gonna cool off.
I mean,
Maybe not.
regardless whether they cool off or not, we need to see where we stand.
Why didn't someone just go off and be like, "Hey, are you Meredith?" And if she said yes, then it is.
That's
I
true.
don't-
She's
Gira,
not
you,
legally allowed to lie.
Yes, lying is very illegal.
Yeah,
Again,
but you
I mean,
know-
I mean, she
you know
lied
her.
out loud repeatedly.
Yeah, but
Oh.
she knows us, and we know her well, and I think that if it was her, she'd want us to know.
I
Yeah,
don't
she's that kind
think
of
she
person.
would. I
You
think
don't
if she
know
wanted
her.
I think if she wanted you to know, you would know.
She did say she was going to make our lives hell if she gets killed, so... And
Yeah.
they are making our lives hell.
I mean, Gary,
I
you
mean-
could try and message her, and if
Yeah,
comes back, if she comes back, then
that's a
Are
good
you
idea.
alive?
I think we should do that.
Yes.
Hey, you up?
Can you imagine if it came back no?
No, lol, I'm dead.
XD.
And then it just is like, no, wait, shit.
oh fuck!
Oh, fuck.
Undo! Bring it back.
Control
Damn
Z,
it.
Control Z. Halcyon says, you didn't even know Meredith, did you, Chinook?
No, but I've been caught up. Right?
Right, but your friend, not your friend, but the party's friend, Gothric, he knew her the best. Maybe you should visit him and see what he thinks.
Yeah, then Chinook, you could talk to Gothric and learn all about the
Fuck off!
situation.
Yes, maybe I can. Maybe I'll learn a lot of things from Gothric.
2 weeks pass. Right, I'm back from Gothric's. Right, now I know more than all of you about Meredith.
Did you know she had a strange mole on one part of her back? It was rather extraordinary.
Well, that's just confirming my Gothric Meredith headcanon. Not Morna.
Oh god.
More
All right.
X.
All right, so Halcyon says, all right, well, I'm a bit. I mean, what if word spreads and all the peasants sort of start flocking to her?
That's what I mean.
Well, that would be an issue. But, you know, are any peasants?
But peasants, there's a lot more peasants than there are people who aren't peasants.
But we have a lot more fireballs than them.
But those are limited. Whereas peasants can just make new peasants.
Well, I mean, they're only limited by the amount of wizards that there are, right? So, most wizards
Oh
would
my
probably
We
want to...
God.
did mention before the possibility of just tipping off the Tempest brand,
That could work.
which
I think
I
that
don't
would.
love.
I think that maybe
But-
that's the best idea.
Me too.
Halcyon says,
Although
Tempest Brand. At first, I thought it was probably going to be a good idea, but I mean, this is their prophecy.
Oh
happening.
no. But it's not directly benefiting them.
I mean, I don't like the Tempest Brand, but if they could do something about it,
But
I
they
think
took our
it's worth
side
a
too.
shot. Yeah.
And then we have the Tempest brand coming after us for trying to assassinate their deity.
We didn't try to kill her.
Well,
She
no, we
literally-
didn't, but that's what they would be coming at us for, regardless
Mm.
of whether we did it or not.
Halcyon gets up and starts rummaging around a bookshelf. Probably in here somewhere.
What?
Aha!
Uh-oh.
Um,
Halcyon has a plan.
She turns around and puts
When it gets under the table.
this big, like, hefty, dusty tome on the table and says, "Well, this is the sort of myth of Titus and the story of Titus." And she's like, sort of flicks through it, and she says, "Yeah, here we are. So a prophecy. So yeah, I mean, she was right. That it's the daughter of Titus returns. And then there's a blood red moon. And then it says something about a new star, which will be pale green, will appear in the sky. And then the children of Allura will return, and they'll bring the forces of evil to invade. I assume demons and the like. And then Erd will be thrown into a new divine war as the gods return, led by Titus, and the children of Titus will fight the children of Allura. And then Erd will be destroyed, but the children of Titus will be saved.
What color was the moon again? The one or the evil planet that wants to eat us all?
That was a sort of like palish green.
Oh, great!
Oh dear.
Fuck!
Balls.
It's a worrying thought.
You don't say.
But who was the actual daughter of Titus?
Well, I think Titus didn't have any sons or daughters when he was alive. So when he died, the empire wasn't handed over to an heir. It became a republic in his memory.
Then how is the daughter of Titus returning if she never existed to begin with?
From the divine realm, because Titus ascended when he died.
Oh, and then he fucked. Gotcha.
I assume, yeah, something like that.
Huh.
Do you ever meet our friend Rainleaf?
These are the sort of general plot points
Oh, thank you. That's helpful.
for the prophecy.
Yeah. Did you ever meet Rainleaf? We could always ask her if she was aware of any Miss Farrow.
I think you mentioned that Rainleaf stayed behind in Eshmelin.
Right. There's no way we can communicate with her.
Maybe by letter. I think sending messages across continents is the same as teleporting.
Well, we can pen a letter. Any information is good information.
Yeah, it
Quite
would
at a
take-
loss of what to do here.
take many
Illyrial might
months to
know. I
get-
mean, Illyrial is in the same order as Rainleaf.
Yeah, let's talk to Illyrial. Illyrial might know. Illyrial's in the same order as Rainleaf. Good plan, Shannock. And then I go to sleep.
Halcyon's just sat there like, did he just repeat everything I said? And then went to bed.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, but it sounded more authoritative coming from him for some reason. I don't know.
Halcyon grabs like a steak knife. I'll throw down.
You call that a knife?
I'm not, yeah, you got magic powers. I'm not scared of you, tree man. But yeah, she says, yeah, Illyrial is, well, no, because Illyrial trained as a cleric of the Tempest brand.
Well then, suppose better see if she has any info. What time is it roughly?
It's probably about 3 or 4.
In the morning?
Oh,
No, PM.
Oh, right,
right.
okay. I'll be awake then. I thought it was like in the evening or something.
No,
Yeah,
no, because you
for some
got
reason I thought it was
up,
something at
and then
night.
there was loads of protesters,
Oh,
and then you went into
right.
the woods, and then that was all that stuff. And then you walked back, and Probably by now it's about late afternoon.
Right. Well then, presumably Liriel's probably still with Aaron. If we could maybe send them a message, see if, well, make sure that's the case, and then head on over.
We can certainly do that. We will do this, but I just feel that there should be something more we should be doing. It feels like we're playing reactively into all these prophecies and moments. There should really be something we should be doing.
What would you suggest?
Well, that's the problem. I don't know. If we are to hold this mantle of responsibility, I feel like we should be, I don't know, collecting lodestones, figuring out how to harness their energy to cause some impact in what's to come.
That is a point actually. The lone stones we do have, I think maybe we should store in my demiplane.
Well, whatever. If you want to do that, you can. I feel like we should be just doing something with it. It's all well and good having these and keeping them out of evil hands, but to what end?
Yeah, we should use
Well,
the power.
that was the end. Unless...
I'm not suggesting we ascend to godhood and hide.
Why not?
Well, it is firstly very much against what the storm would tell me to do.
I think we'd make great gods.
Beside the point. I don't think anyone is a good god. No.
Or even yours.
Well, the storm isn't a god.
Kind of a god, isn't it?
Oh no, it's the energy
Grey area.
around us. Anyway.
It's the midichlorians, man.
Jar Jar Binks.
In any case, we can dwell on this. I will send a message to Luna and Aaron. He kind of potters off a little bit and casts a message and basically just says, "Hey, can we come meet you?" And kind of briefly explains.
Sure.
15 words or less.
Brilliant. Creative use of game mechanics. Yeah.
No worries.
You get a message back from Illyriel saying, "Yes, of course, you're always welcome."
I assume in Orostas in the tower, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Come whenever you feel like it.
Well, the call is made, and we are welcome whenever. They will be present in the tower of Orostas.
All right then. Well, all right, let's lock up then, I guess, and head
Yeah.
out.
Please come with us, Halcyon. We'll of course take your security and your well-being as our chief priority.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to see Orostas. It's been a very long time.
Maybe you can stay in Aaron's tower.
Well, I suppose that's probably Erin's decision.
I mean, like, yeah, I was suggesting you ask her, but like, you know.
Oh.
Well,
I don't really know her.
I mean, if we do need to go somewhere dangerous, it might be good to find somewhere for you to be safe.
No,
maybe,
sure,
maybe,
yeah.
Maybe Roxon's house, if that's not being used.
Like I said, it's going to be a bit worn down by now, and God knows some bandits might have taken it.
I mean, we could dispatch those in a few minutes, right?
Oh yeah. All right. Well, if you'd like.
Well, maybe I'll ask Erin first. I'm not sure whether I feel like living in a dank, cold, broken tower or something.
Well, you know, it's fine for some.
No, I'm sure it's lovely when you've actually been there.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well,
Right. I will begin doing the circle for Aaron's tower.
Okay. Yeah, you begin the process of casting the spell, and one by one you jump through, appearing in the top floor of Erin's tower, where Erin, Illyriel, and Bet are sort of sat at a table playing a game of cards. The cards themselves are these like quite fancy. They sort of have the art style of maybe like a tarot card sort of thing, but they're like very finely made. And they don't seem to be from like this area. Maybe they're from Eshmalen.
Go fool.
Erin looks up. Ah, welcome back. And Illyriel stands up and says, "There's something about the prophecy."
The prophecy.
Yes. So a weird couple of days in Darkbridge. But the gist is that there is a woman claiming to be the daughter of Titus, and essentially, herself signaling that this is the start of this prophecy. She also claims that we tried to kill her. We didn't, by the way.
We didn't. She was pillows.
We genuinely didn't.
She was exploding pillows.
Yeah, she did cry. She did blow up an inn though in Darkbridge.
She's also a member of this Order of the Unseen.
Order of the Unseen. She turns to Erin and says, "Have you heard anything of such an order?" And he says, I don't think so. It does sound worrying though. Someone pretending to be the daughter of Titus, that could cause a lot of trouble.
They sell magic. From what we gather, they're involved with high, like, magic trading. I think is what we got.
Magic items.
Yeah.
Where did you find that? No information.
Talk to one of the dons.
Oh, of Port Daron.
Yeah.
Illyriel says, I think if whatever this order is, if they're pretending to do this, they must have some very dark motive.
I mean, they tried to frame us for murder.
Yeah, that wasn't their motive. Whatever it is, they plan to clearly do something quite big.
Maybe involving all the magical items they've been buying and selling.
Illyriel says, I am... This does seem to make sense, though, the timing of this.
Oh.
Yes, the Tempest brand have recently had a bit of a change in leadership.
Oh. Who's in charge now?
Well, there's a faction who've been part of the Tempest brand for a long time. They're the Radical faction, who are determined that the end times are nearby, and they have, from what I can tell, and from what Erin and I have ascertained over the last couple of years in a lot of the work we've been doing, is that there's a faction of mages within the Arcanum that seem to be supporting this radical faction. Almost, I think maybe it's a mage-led plot.
Well,
What threat do you see this cult having?
Well, I don't know. It depends who they're working for. I mean, that's probably once we determine that, it might be easier.
Well, let's assume it's some plot between the Tempest brand and some group of upstarts and perhaps the rogue ASMR together.
Sounds a lot like they're trying to infiltrate all forms of political control, possibly starting with religious control. you know, giving
But if-
mages.
If you can convince a society that the world is soon to come to an end, and only you can save them from that, they will do anything for you.
Why shouldn't we? We should have gone that route. I mean, it wouldn't be lying.
We should have got people to worship us instead.
Please don't start a cult.
Just a little cult.
No, no cult. Bad, bad, Roxanne, bad.
Start a cult.
Please don't start a cult.
I think generally you need a charismatic leader for
Or one with big muscles.
No, you'd need someone who can convince people.
yeah, that's
Scrimshaw.
more of a warband thing, the big muscles.
Scrimshaw, you could do that then.
What is the difference between a warband and a cult?
Violence?
I mean,
I-
cults can be violent.
Sure, but warbands
Different
don't have
types.
a religious aspect to them, necessarily.
Hmm.
Anyway. Well,
But the leader who has just taken over the Tempest brand and is effectively the leader of the religion of the Pentastus is a name called Tetricus, and I've been trying to work out a lot of things about him, but he, from what I can tell, is that he is deeply corrupt and is clearly using this religious aspects of his order to his benefit.
What's his name, sorry, again?
Tetricus Venari. There you go. And she says Tetricus is from a faction which is has supported a lot of things. It supported the revolution in Lavar. It supported the rise of things like the Black Hands and the Dancing Coast.
We learned
Almost
that,
certainly had something to do with Pietro as well.
We learned that what was it? The Order of the Unseen, they had something to do with the Black Hand, right?
Really?
I think was it they had dealings with Black Hand regarding the magic items.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's what Don Lucian said.
I mean, if that's the case, I'm starting to think this faction, Tetricus is at least a massive part of it.
So what? We storm into the headquarters of the Tempest brand, and then what?
You wouldn't be able to get into the door.
Maybe
most-
not.
The most
but
powerful
we-
paladins and clerics in Erd guard the inner quarters of the Tempest brand.
Well, we
in
could
Lavar.
always try and find information beforehand, before we go storming in and dying horribly.
It was
Well,
just a simple
instead of,
turn of
maybe.
phrase. There was no commitment to do it. It was simply but what do we do about it?
Yeah.
Or do we?
what do we do?
Yeah, that's
I
the thing as well. What what are their goals? If they don't interfere with ours, then what reason do we really have to stop them? I mean,
They've
may
already
be-
tried to interfere with ours by framing us for murder.
But that is simply
Yeah.
because we're a well-known force. We're of course something they probably had to bear a little bit of notice to. So what they had to do.
As far
Plus
as I'm
they did-
concerned, we've got bigger things to worry about, and we should just let bygones be bygones.
I mean, I get the impression that their interaction with us may have just been a means for them to get to where they are, their trust with those people. It wasn't. I don't think it was about us.
Okay, well, if it turns out to be false and that they are
Then we kill them.
going after us, then, well, I'm going to look at you, poke my tongue out, and say, "I told you so."
We could deal with them easily.
I mean, what would you suggest, Chinook?
I wasn't suggesting anything, only that they seem to have it in for you guys, and by extension me, so I don't like them. And that I don't think that it is just a means to an end. I think they do see you as some form of challenge to their ideals. I mean, after all, they tried sponsoring the revolution, possibly Pietro. They've worked with the Black Hand, which you've also been enemies with. It sounds like you've been fucking up a lot of their plans.
All right, should we have a break?
Cool.
Let's have a
Sure.
15-minute break then. Yeah, come back at 22.
Right, I shall mute the stream.
Cool.
Yeah, pause the stream.
Yeah.
I'm very
goodbye.
sleepy.
Welcome back from our break. So just before the break, you watched a miracle in progress as the daughter of Titus returned, or so she wants people to think. Sparking off the start of the period of the end times, where there will soon be a blood red moon, which will signal the arrival of a new star, pale green in the sky, and then the children of Allura will return, and the forces of evil will invade Erd, where Erd will then be thrown into a new divine war as the star begins to grow in the sky, and then once the star reaches Erd, it will be Erd will be judged and destroyed, while the children of Titus are saved, as all the heretics are killed in the ensuing destruction. So, what would you like to do?
Liriel.
Yes. Sorry, I was focusing on this game we're playing.
Alright, sorry. I can wait until you're done if
No, it's fine.
What's the game called?
I think the translation is something like sort of warriors.
Sorcery
like
the
that.
Collection, perhaps?
No, basically the goal is that you have to try and get your warrior into the other person's side, and then you have to slay their king.
Ah,
You use
right.
these cards to determine how strong your warrior is, and how far it moves up and stuff.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's quite confusing. There's plenty of people who are very good at it in Eshmalin. There's a whole heard Gideon occasionally took it up. He's quite good at it.
Gideon sounds like a nerd.
Well,
Yeah,
anyway, what were you going to ask?
So Rainleaf, I believe she was an Asimar, correct?
Yes.
How common exactly are Asimar? Because we think that this woman who claimed to be the daughter of Titus, that she may have been one as well. She sprouted the wings, did the whole
I see.
angel, god, whatever thing.
This might require some explaining then. Asimar are seen. They're seen by the Tempest brand as divinely sent figures. However, the Asimar have only ever been born, at least in these parts, in Lavar, where they are selected. They're sort of inquisitors will go from house to house, looking at newborn children and seeing if they have the mark of Titus, which means that they are an Asimar and have the potential to become incredibly powerful members of the Tempest brand, and clerics and paladins and the like. Usually they're separated from their parents at that point and raised by the Tempest brand. But it's strange. It doesn't happen anywhere on Orthaid. It's just Lavar.
Any ideas why?
Well, naturally, the history. My history with the Tempest brand isn't great, and neither is Erin's. I was trained as a cleric of the Tempest brand, and unfortunately, Erin and I had to leave Lavar, but I was never too deep within the organization. I do suspect, however, that a lot of the children that they bring and separate from parents are not really any different to normal children. It's more about what happens after the Tempest brand start raising them.
Oh,
There's some
so
kind of
they
process
turn them
there.
into symbols that they can use to garner power.
Yes, a lot of the most powerful inquisitors, and other members of the Tempest brand either utilize a lot of these very powerful Asimars, or are these Asimars themselves.
That is horrific.
It's just been going on for 500 years. No, sorry, 800 years.
That is horrible. I hate it. That is unbelievably cruel.
But Rainleaf was raised by the Tempest brand. However, she had a noble family that still kept in contact and still was still part of her life, let's say.
Still, the changing of a person into an Asima must have been heavily traumatic.
Sure. But the Tempest brand do not particularly care about how traumatized their subjects are, only that they are loyal.
Might explain her love of the vine. Ugh.
Yeah, a little bit of alcoholism to dull the pain.
Ugh.
But Rainleaf came to our order a bit later, after escaping with the Tempest brand on her own.
Oh. Well, good on Rainleaf. Fucking Tempest brand dickheads. It's like they're constantly attempting to try and find a new way to become Orthade's #1 pricks.
Well, they're still living in the past. They remember the times when Lavar was the #1 institution in the in Orthade, the Lavari Empire, before it collapsed.
Yeah. Doesn't mean that they're any less dickheads.
But I might be able to put you in contact with some people that might know more about this Order of the Unseen. I have a number of links into the Tempest brand and their doing.
That would be very helpful, thank you.
Yes, unfortunately, most of them are in Lavar.
Well, whatever you do, please don't put yourself in danger on our account.
I've already done that multiple times.
Well, any more at least.
Trust me, what this is nothing compared to some of the things you've asked me to do.
I mean, what they ask you to do. I only ever asked you to do one thing.
Yes, I meant you generally.
Ah.
Does this
Okay.
involve us going to Lavar? Because I'm not sure we're welcome there.
I don't
Well,
think we're welcome in many places, Scrimshaw.
well, Lavar is it is a dangerous city. It is a city of snakes. I think that trying to stay away from it might be best for you. But if I can find a meeting place for these people, that they might be traveling outside of Lavar at some point, maybe I can put you into touch with them.
That would be very, very helpful.
Maybe if you get your friend Wolfram to try and ask for an emissary from Lavar or something, one of which I know, and Wolfram can sort of be the middleman in that regard.
Wolfram's not our friend. Well, he might be our friend. He said he doesn't like us anymore. Publicly. He said he didn't like us anymore.
Well, that's all I can suggest, really. Other than that, you might have to do some digging of your own.
It's very kind of you to offer these words. We will consider them and return potentially and momentarily with an answer. What is Earth? I don't see any issue in contacting Wolfram.
You can try messaging him, but I don't think going up to him would work.
Yeah, I mean, we're not permitted to simply enter the palace as we please.
Yeah.
Anymore.
So maybe send him a telepathic message to just see what's up.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think we're not. We could still go to the palace. We're just not allowed inside. We could go and ask. We can't just like teleport inside, but we could still go there.
Yeah, it might be good to at least see if we can speak to Wolfram. Maybe clear the air a bit, see what's...
Maybe message before going ahead in case, you know.
Well, actually, I would potentially say the antithesis. If we message ahead and there is indeed some plot behind it, because I don't know. There are pros and cons either way.
I mean, if we go barging in, then, you know, the plot comes out and we get captured. If there is a plot against us, we go in and we get captured. I think messaging ahead is at least safer.
Be in agreement to message?
think so.
Okay.
I'm Halcyon, by the way. Halcyon.
Oh, sorry.
Oh God! Oh God! I forgot you were there. Jesus.
Yes, Halcyon, Erin, Bet, and Illyriel.
Oh, nice to meet you, my lady. Sorry, I'm eating chocolate. It's got like loads of
Hang on, where are
chewy
the
bit.
puppies?
Halcyon says, "Oh, yeah, we kind of left them behind."
Oh no! What? Wait, what about the kid that you were looking after?
Oh, she's at boarding school, right?
Yeah, she's in Darkbridge.
Oh.
Dot, dot, dot.
I like that ...
Nah,
Right.
she'll be fine, right?
Don't say that. Please don't say that. That means she's not going to be fine. That's like right next to what could possibly go wrong in terms of things that will go wrong.
Next, you're going to
Erin
say,
says-
"Oh, I'm sure the angry peasants of Darkbridge don't know that she's in some way connected to us."
Well, Erin says, "Wait, is your what is it? Is your living arrangement dangerous at the moment?"
Yeah, the Border of the Unseen kind of angered a whole bunch of peasants and they seem to be very, very angry at us, and they seem to believe that we tried to kill their prophet. We didn't. She blew up some pillows.
Yeah,
I don't think. Illyriel says, "Well, I don't think they'll do anything if they profess to be the prophet of Titus."
Oh no, she believes she's the daughter of Titus, or she wants them to believe she's the daughter of Titus.
Yes, but they won't do anything violent. I hope, not without undermining their attempted purpose.
Okay, well that's good then.
But you're welcome to stay here, Halcyon, if you need somewhere to stay. Illyriel says, turns back to Gira. Sorry, you were about to message.
Yes, that's correct. Are there any special requests for the way this message is conveyed?
Ask him, what the fuck, man? I thought we were cool.
Any more?
Maybe a little less hostile.
Yes, I was going to discount his advice. Foolish.
Maybe
But
ask about clearing the air, seeing.
yeah,
We're
like I wasn't saying say it word for word, But you know, ask him what the fuck is going on.
My plea for advice was more of a courtesy, but I think I could do it quite well enough. Girikos sending and says, greetings, King Wolfram. Hope you are well. We seek an audience.
Roxon says hi.
In safe company, preferably. Welcome. Reply soon.
Welcome, Roxon says hi.
Roxanne says hi.
Hi, ex-boss.
Hi, Roxon would like to discuss his building.
He would like to discuss his retirement options. Okay, so you soon get a reply. Where you hear, yes, of course. Come round to the back of the castle. It's better that you enter unseen. I look forward to catching up.
Gira conveys it, and he says, he responded rather promptly. Didn't seem like he would have had a window to convey the message. Willing to take this at face value.
If he's willing to see us but trying to hide it, then that seems to kind of confirm our suspicions that this wasn't a decision that he really wanted to take.
Very well, but I think the time we left between then and now was sufficient to remove any prying eyes on us as being in the pocket of the king. At least it should buy us some time if we reignite some kind of relationship.
I can try to teleport us behind the palace at VL.
Well, fantastic, and I can prepare a word of recall in the event it is a trap.
That sounds like a great idea.
And, Illyrio, your sage council has been met, and it seems we will be rekindling a bond once lost because of its outcome. The names of your contacts in Lavar. You may be able to use Wolfram as a middleman after all.
Fantastic. Well, there's a fair amount of different people, but the main person I have, who's the highest sort of spy of mine within the Tempest brand, is a guy named Voros. If you ask Wolfram to ask the Tempest brand to send emissary Voros.
Can you put his name into some form of written thing? Thank you. Thank you.
He is an inquisitor of the Tempest brand. He will come across as dark and quite potentially troubling. But he has never betrayed me once.
Does he like chocolate?
Can I just do an insight check on that? I have no reason to not believe her at all, to be honest, but I just want to
roll an insight check.
load the thing up.
You can tell she's completely honest. Like, there's something about her which suggests that, like, Voros, you're definitely not gonna like Voros, and he's gonna come across as someone you're gonna deeply mistrust. But like she elaborates on her point a bit and says, "I've known him for over 20 years. We've been through a lot together. I trust him with my life."
I assume this darkness might come as part of his position within the Tempest brand as some form of inquisitor. You know, probing, deceitful.
Yes and no. He truly is a traumatized and troubled person.
Oh, now I feel bad.
How can we potentially get him to feel comfortable to discuss matters best said in private? And past that point, what exactly would you suggest we ask him?
Well, I will send him a message vouching for you.
Right.
But it's best if you just ask him about what's been going on recently within the Tempest brand. I think that he's in a more capable position than I am to explain. And he might also know more about whatever this prophecy thing that's happening at the moment is.
Yes, and his retinue that I assume will accompany him, are they to be trusted?
It is better that you do not. I do not know who will be coming with him, so it's best that you do not trust them.
Very well.
He will have scribes that will follow him and write down every word that he speaks, as the Tempest brand are taught to have. But if you can find a place that is private, that the scribes may not be there, it is probably best that you'll be able to get him talking.
Unlikely, but perhaps we could ask Wolfram to see if he has any suggestions on this front.
Yes, nobles often have private, unwritten conversations with inquisitors and the like.
I could use at my palace.
I'm sure Wolfram has an apparatus in place.
I can use my powers. I say as I kind of just look to the ground and shuffle my feet.
I've
Um,
got a
Go on,
space too.
go on.
I just want to be useful.
Well,
Technically, an infinite number of spaces in theory.
Yeah, well, mine's prettier.
Mine's permanent.
Well,
Well-
mine has invisible servants which obey my every desire.
Well, mine.
Illyriel turns
Mine's
to you,
newer.
Morna. Illyriel turns to you, Morna, and says, "Are they always this? I don't know how to describe it."
Yeah, they are.
Probably gets tiring, right?
Yeah, it does.
Well, I think that's as much as I can help you with. I do not know what else that you might need. Although, actually, Erin, you said you wanted to say something to them, and Erin says, "Oh yes, I'm planning after the wedding on dedicating my time to studying this Estar, this planet born dead. I'm planning on upgrading my tower and the telescopes and stuff that we have here. Something a bit more powerful that we might be able to see into the stars a bit further and see and potentially track if anything's changed about them."
Be useful.
Yes.
It does. It seems almost certain that Estar is seems likely that the Estar is this pale green star mentioned in the prophecy. So, I mean, it'll appear at some point. If we could know sooner than the world does, then that'll be great.
And also, if we spot it early, we might have a timescale of when it might actually reach us. See how much of a timescale we're working on here.
Yes, I know one of the I believe one of the magisters under Wolfram's control was looking into it as well, though I don't know whether that research has continued.
Oh well, then maybe if you ask Wolfram to share his information with me, and that might help.
course.
At least help me get started.
Will do.
Fantastic. Well,
Leave the finer details to you, space nerds.
That's
been a while
a
since-
brilliant position.
yeah, it's been a while since I've done a good project. Right.
You said after the wedding. Is that after the honeymoon or just straight into it?
Honeymoon? We're too busy for a honeymoon. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, I think that we'll be trying to help out things. We can have a honeymoon after the world is saved.
If there's a world to have it in, but yeah, hopefully so.
Well, I wish wish you all Godspeed. Halcyon, let me show you to the guest quarters, and Halcyon and Aaron sort of ascend the staircase.
Right. Shall we be off then?
Yeah, I think we need to go back to the house and get the dogs.
Oh,
God,
I'll get them. I'll get Aaron to get them. It's fine.
Thanks.
Oh,
Yeah, don't worry yourself. We can move Halcyon in here if you feel that she needs to be safer.
don't
Thank you.
forget Clive.
Oh, and Clive. Yeah, Clive.
What, your horse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he would.
very important. He
Okay.
might
He
just
would-
be
he
the
would
key to
starve
He's
to
been
death.
through
universe.
teleportation circles before, so he knows he knows the deal.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
well-
might rear a bit, but if maybe have Bet there. He's not that strong. So
Okay. Yeah, sure. We have stables. So.
thank you.
Very well. And Elariel goes back to her game with Bet.
Good to see you with
Right.
Bet, by the way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Nice to see you. Sorry, I've been thinking about strategies. Now that they've shown me this
Focusing on
game.
the game.
Yeah. It's quite fun.
Nice. Maybe we'll play it someday.
Yeah, maybe. If you want your butt kicked. All right. So yeah, what do you want to do?
We could go teleport and see Wolfram now if we want.
Yeah.
Haven't cast any spells.
I've cast a teleportation circle. Aside from that, I think we're all good.
Cool.
Don't know whether this conversation would count as an hour for a short rest.
Yeah, you can have a short rest. It's fine.
Cool. Not that I'm
Okay.
expecting to just immediately get into a fight when we run into Wolfram.
I
It's like, I've come prepared.
mean,
Miss
I
you
can
turn
also
again.
I can now cast teleport twice a day. So there's that.
Ooh. Could have mentioned that before I wasted components on coming here. But that's fine. It's actually incredibly
know, I-
useful being able to teleport somewhere and then teleport back in a day.
Yeah, it's. I didn't want to steal your thunder. You have your thing, I do my thing. Yes. Is everyone else alright with going to chat with this king who I've never met, who I'm probably going to like or dislike? I don't know.
I feel like you two may get on okay, but
He's a decent.
maybe
guy.
just don't talk
Think.
too much.
Right.
Yeah. Just a suggestion.
Okay, so Roxanne is the least friendly person I've ever met, so I'm going to talk a lot more. Because I'm going to take the exact opposite of his advice.
Right, well, you'll want to ignore the fact that the person I used to, I know him the best out of everyone here, but you
Yeah.
go ahead. I'll laugh when your head's on a spike.
That's lovely. Okay, everyone else alright?
Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna start ahead and cast teleport.
Where are you teleporting to?
Well, I don't think I know the palace very well.
You have never been to VL.
Oh, fuck.
Oh dear.
Why doesn't Skirmish or just teleport us so you know where it is?
Well, if I teleport
That-
us, then we'll be going into VL.
Yes, but we
Will be
won't.
going where?
He said to meet behind the palace, not behind VL.
Yeah, behind
gonna
the
have to
palace,
go-
implying we want to
gonna
be
have-
seen.
Oh, right.
Wait, where's the teleportation circle set up?
There's two
Um,
teleportation
right now.
circles in VL.
There's one in the marketplace and one
Yeah.
in the middle of the palace. So why don't we
Yeah.
just go to the marketplace one, all disguised as somebody else? We'll
I'll
dress
wear
up.
a big mustache.
Surely we've all got large cloaks we can use to disguise our
Yeah,
presence.
here uses as a cloak or something.
I don't have a cloak.
Well, I've got an extra one.
I'll just cover my face.
I have
I
my
cast
clothes.
disguise self to look like an emaciated.
And you upcast it to cast it on more people.
Hang on. I don't know if that's.
I've ruled that in the past.
Okay,
Okay.
sure. I
Okay.
can disguise us all as elderly wizards. Ooh.
No,
That
that's
sounds like it
not.
would
That,
draw
that, don't
attention.
do that.
We're teleporting right into the middle of the square.
One wizards and the rest just commoners.
I disguise
I mean-
myself as an elderly wizard and the others as brightly coloured merchants.
Oh, that's gonna draw so much attention.
Can I be a
We're
dice salesman?
teleporting into the square.
Maybe a little-
We're not
maybe
gonna
a
be able
little-
to get in there without drawing attention.
Yeah, but we want the least attention possible. If like an elderly wizard is
Okay.
teleporting, I just want to look like a regular person, okay?
I'm an elderly wizard. The others are just regular old merchants.
No, I'd like to be a dice salesman.
You're a dice salesman.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh
What
my
does a
God.
dice salesman look like?
I have a
I
big
don't
dice
know.
hat. With a big dice.
You're wearing like black and white clothes. There's like dots all over you.
Yeah.
The
imagine,
merchants numbered in different parts.
Imagine the Riddler.
Right.
Looks
Okay.
a bit like that.
Oh my goodness.
There's like shoulder pads that are cubes.
Yes. Let's not draw attention to ourselves. To be fair, that is exactly the sort of thing that in an MMO, like someone would teleport into town looking like that.
It's basically like playing Final Fantasy. It's like playing Final Fantasy Online.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, Shunnock doesn't really do not drawing attention to himself very well. He's good at like stealth, but he also wants to make an entrance, so subconsciously he's thinking, "Oh, let's show up in the most glamorous clothes possible."
Mm. All right. So, how are you gonna get to Veal?
I think we're taking it. Scrimshaw's going to teleport us, and we're going to be disguised by, I assume, Scrimshaw. Shunnock.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
I am
Chinook-
a wizard. The others are just merchants.
so what is that? A 5th level spell?
Whichever one gets us all disguised.
Yeah, he's just one for 1st level, so it'll be 5th for 5 people.
Cool.
All right. So, okay, and Scrimshaw, you begin to set up your teleport.
Yep. Or you could just teleport us to the circle as well.
Who?
I've got the circle right here. Chinook.
Oh.
Save us
Oh, okay.
some money.
Sure.
Yeah, because this is
Oh,
costing
yeah,
us
you
50
immediately
gold
just,
every
like,
time
Oh
we
no,
cast
cast
it.
Vanish.
pass without a trace. I know we're not gonna like be invisible, but just so people don't notice us. Like to merge in with the background.
Yeah, it's
Like
more
the-
like
like the
the
perception
sort of
filter in
act of
Doctor Who.
teleporting into the area like creates a noise and a thud, and people will just immediately be drawn to looking over there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
but
it's
I wanna
gonna
have it-
draw attention.
I know, but we want to sort of like sneak off after that, right?
Yeah,
That
but
should
you
be fairly
can't like.
easy.
Don't just like crouch and start crouch walking.
Yeah.
Walk
Oh,
like a
I'm
normal
saying-
person.
But we want to just
Yeah.
walk off into the crowd.
Yeah, you want to have
disappear.
that up. You want to have that up just so you
Yeah.
can.
That, exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. What were you saying, Gira?
No, I was just confirming what was already said.
Cool. Okay. Right. So yes, Scrimshaw. No, so Chinook begins to play his magical. What is it? Flute.
Flute. Yes.
Yeah. And you vanish away, woof, and appear in in the middle of the marketplace. Is this everyone here? Where's Chinook? Oh, there he is. And you appear in VL. The town square is busy. The merchants are selling their evening sort of like reductions. So all the sort of poorer people have come out, trying to get sort of like loaves of bread that may be going a bit stale. Old fish, the like old meat. But actually, when you appear, not too many people are that fussed about your sudden appearance in the center. And you just begin heading to the palace, right?
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
Roxon
behind,
kind of
behind the palace.
behind the palace.
Yeah.
I'm sure Roxon takes the lead because he knows the direction best.
Yeah,
Me too.
Roxon, you actually know from working in you know the secret entrance that goes into the back of the palace. So.
Follow me.
Okay, so Roxon takes you down the canals in VL, and where you see the palace just ahead of you, he takes you down some steps that leads you into a sort of like sewer grate, that takes you not into the sewers, but like sort of like a half open sewer almost that just goes behind the like half moat, half open sewer that's behind the palace, and then there's like another flight of steps that leads to the back wall. And there's someone stood there. Someone, one of the guards, who says, "Ah, you are the people who are here to see Wolfram, for the Emperor, right?"
Yes.
Very well. Come on in. And he pushes one of the stones in the back wall, and it sort of like rumbles, and just sort of opens up, revealing a sort of tunnel that goes into the palace.
Huh.
Damn,
I'll
imagine
get
if we weren't
myself
those
one of
people.
those.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah. Ooh.
Well, there are plenty of defenses here, but portcullises and stuff in the tunnel. But right, there is 5 of you. Very well, and begin to descend into there. He takes his cloak off, and you see that underneath his cloak, he's got sort of like the golden armor of the of the Empire of Tusset, and takes you up into the back stock rooms, where there's loads of flour, just preserved, pickled sort of things on shelves. And stood in the back of the stockroom is the Emperor, Wolfram, who is also wearing a cloak and is holding a candle. He says, "Oh, you've come back. Brilliant."
Sorry,
Nice to see you.
is this room lined at all?
Yes, everything. Well, I made sure that this particular place is, but there are plenty of secret areas in this palace that
No,
that
very
I
good.
meet people in. It's just
Very
nice to see you all again, by the way.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
Yes, and you are
I'm Shunnock.
Shinnok. You're
That's
an
finished.
elf.
Yeah, the disguise is obviously.
I assume you
Yeah.
dropped the disguises like.
Yeah.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What, you just turned because the
We
guard
wouldn't-
would have had your descriptions.
Yeah. No,
that was
we
why I was like, oh, maybe good job that other people
I
didn't just
see.
turn up.
They just let everybody in.
Maybe you
Yeah.
didn't drop your disguise, but someone else did. Either way,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Wolfram says, "Yes, it's been interesting times around this house."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Speaking
lying.
of,
Oh,
what
okay.
the fuck, dude?
Please excuse our friend. Shunnock, you are talking to a king. Please show a modicum of respect.
I've talked this way to many a king before.
And
Well,
how many
I-
of you ended up on good terms with?
Okay, good point. I do apologize.
Well, good company you keep here, everyone.
Told
Well,
you.
what can I help you with, Scrimshaw? You were saying something.
Oh, sorry, it's flown out of my mind.
Well, I mean, you asked to see me.
Allow me to begin, if I may. Apologies for our slightly all over the place skitterish after the recent incidents of late. We have been having a little bit of trouble in Erstavold. We the locals, shall we say, the peasants, have rebelled. They do not agree with the way the land is operated on, and sought better conditions. Turns out they were being led by a lady by the name of Miss Farrow, who claims to be a descendant of Titus. Sure you're familiar with the prophecy. Gira raises an eyebrow just quickly, as kind of mid-speech, kind of awaiting a nod from Wolfram if he does or doesn't.
Yeah, Wolfram nods.
Of course, I'm not surprised at all. Anyway, so the people have. Excuse me, Morna seems to have caught a bit of sewer water in her mouth on the way through.
Strange. I thought Mona was immune to disease.
Well, it's so stinky down here. Apparently not. Yes. The Miss Farrow sprout angelic wings and potentially is an SMR trained by the clutches of the Tempest brand. We believe the Tempest brand, after I'm sure you're aware of their recent change in leadership, are plotting something a little bit. And we are here to investigate and deal with this threat before it engulfs your territory, peasant revolution of sorts. Although the end of days are coming, I think potentially coming, it does bear well to have a steady and stable society to meet it when it comes.
Well, that's quite a lot. Have you thought about just putting the peasants down?
Well,
Gary-
I suggested that, Wolfram, but they wouldn't let me do it.
I also thought that was a good idea, but no, we weren't allowed.
If I may, Wolfram, my lord, my king, my emperor,
It's my liege.
my liege, that's correct. My liege, if I may, it does not matter what we do to the peasants. It seems Miss Farrow is keen on gathering any peasants where she can. I don't think it particularly matters who or where this starts, only that it's starting. We've been told by Lyriel that a certain agent in Lavar by the name of Vostos. I wrote it down like 5 times. Where's it gone?
Ross.
Voros. My notes are all over the place. Yeah, Voros. Voros. She vouches for him and is allegedly, he kind of looks around a little bit, somewhat of a spy in the inside of the Tempest brand. We are after information about the current situation in the Tempest brand and hope you would facilitate a meeting of some description. A diplomatic foray or bilateral meeting of sorts. And,
Well-
go on.
Well, if it means that the Tempest brand end up losing some of their power, I think that will serve me greatly.
Well, not necessarily. Seem to have evidence that the group that Miss Farrow is part of. I wrote this down about 10 times, and I've had a mind blank. You said about an
The
hour
Order
ago.
of the Unseen.
Thank you very much, Sherlock. I'm getting very old in my current state. The Order of the Unseen might have ties to all sorts of underworld groups, including Tempest brand, and it seems to a certain extent that
The Black
goals-
Hand File.
their goals somewhat align. So we actually think that this is a good thing for the Tempest brand, unless you believe differently, of course. And
No, I mean that working against the Tempest brand will be good for me.
Oh, well, we do hope so too. I'm not a big fan of them.
I'm not
Got
sure
it.
if you know much about what's been going on recently.
Oh no, of course, and I must, on behalf of Gly 5, send across my deepest and sincere apologies for somewhat being vacant in your presence for a long time. We felt it best to keep a bit of distance between after what happened with old Merithacure.
Yes, well, I had to ask you to leave, you see. There are factions within my government who will use any opportunity to work against me. And many of them didn't like the idea that I kept myself around such accomplished and powerful adventurers that might be able to protect me.
Yes, well, we assumed that too. We're glad you don't want our heads on sticks quite yet.
No, no. You have, you have, you don't have a greater ally than I.
Hmm.
The issue is that, well, the nature of my house is really at stake, and now that Tarsat isn't under threat of being taken over by the Commonwealth, my leadership is less valuable to the Lords. I'm going to put it that way.
Quite a pity. But what else has been going on? You seem to allay that there's more going on.
Oh, just normal sort of royal court scheming, really.
Politics sucks.
Yeah. Well, I never asked for this job.
No, you're kind of born into it. You didn't really have much of a say, did you?
Well, I wasn't really born into it. It was my brother who was supposed to be king.
Oh. Oh, my apologies.
I don't suppose I ever really told you much about how I became king, did I?
No.
Please
Well, you
do
haven't
recount
told
us.
me. I know that much.
I just figured that people knew, but unless you're a noble, there's no reason really to know exactly why people are kings and why they're not. Well, about 15 years ago, my father died, and his brother-in-law, so his sister, was married to the king of the Commonwealth. So when my father died, they pressed their claim to the throne, but because my brother was the first in line, the nobles rallied around him, and the war started and quickly stagnated, and then he died, assassinated. I was in Dormont at the time. I was living away, and I was recalled to Tarsat at the age of 17 and made king. And over the next sort of 12 years, I fought the Commonwealth, and eventually we won that war. And the nobles rallied around me as long as there was someone to rally around. But ever since, I mean, I've never been a king at peace. I've never had the chance to settle down and marry and have children.
Just is he? So he's 30, right? Ish.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He says, I never had the chance to settle down and have children. Honestly, I never really had it in me. But now I'm getting to the point where I am getting a bit older. They are asking whether I am going to have any children. And if I don't, then the entire empire might fall into collapse and ruin.
Okay. I'll keep. Do you want a lady or a man?
Well, this is what I'm saying. I don't want either. It is that is the issue.
Oh.
Aww.
Maybe I could find you a nice lady so that you could pretend to be in love. And then make people happy. Make the nobles happy.
Why do you always try and marry people?
Because it's fun. I like seeing people in love. Even though it wouldn't be love, but...
Yes. We all know Gothric and Merith, you know.
You think people haven't offered me marriages before?
Yeah, but find someone who you'd actually like.
Morna just enjoys playing matchmaker.
Yeah, I'm not really sure you're understanding.
Yeah.
But this is the issue, that I can't abdicate because, well,
There's no one to take the throne.
Oh,
Right.
we've got a child that you might be able to have.
Can we stop offering to give away children,
No,
please?
I'm just saying, you could always adopt. Do you have a paternal urge for children?
no.
Oh.
But the issue is that I can't adopt a child because it is not my bloodline. and I don't want to have children, so I have to deal with the nobles constantly trying to overthrow me and murder me.
Yeah.
That is a bit of a pickle.
I think it would probably be best just to have them and let the nannies look after them so you never see them.
I don't.
Have
I,
you-
That
It
sounds like a
doesn't
very
work.
cruel.
No, that's how most nobles work.
Have you
It's-
considered getting cloned?
Yeah, Merif did it really well.
That's
You could have-
illegal.
Is
You
that,
could
is that
ask-
magic?
oh,
Does
wait,
the
you
Tempest
chopped
brand
it.
the Tempest actually the Tempest brand probably looks down upon that kind of magic, don't they?
Please,
That seems
yeah.
like something they wouldn't
please,
like.
please, my fellows, this man is opening himself up to us, and the least we can do is pay him courtesy and listen, and don't start
We
judging.
did listen. We did listen.
Not
Now we're offering
judging.
solutions. That's what we do.
You're not
Just
offering
problems.
solutions. You're just offering things I've heard a million times before. I have nobles telling me every day you should get married, you should have children. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to have it. I don't want to be king, but I can't abdicate because it will mean my death.
Oh. Well, you could abdicate and then we could protect you.
You can abdicate, and
Come
then we
adventuring
can
with
be
us.
the rulers.
There's no person on this planet who could protect me from the next king of Tarsat because they will want me dead and they'll do anything and spend any amount of money to make it so.
I think you should...
Scrimshaw can create a different. No, don't worry.
We can. We can fake your death.
I think you should get cloned. But we should find some. We'll try and find someone who can clone you, and then
That'd be a bit mean on the clone.
The clone is. I don't want to be cloned.
We could fake your death. We
Right,
can make
right.
it look like you've been killed, so
How-
you can flee and have a happy life somewhere
How
else.
you realize the Tempest brand and the Arcanum have multiple sources of possession
Hey,
of mine,
hey,
my
hey,
hair, my
Could he
blood.
live in the Fey world?
You could live in the Fey world. Would you
Uh,
like to live in the Fey
different-
world?
different plane of existence, Wolfram. They
He-
can't get you there.
He just starts pinching the bridge of his nose.
Yeah.
That's
It's
fair.
Good times. Good times.
Bet you missed this.
I bet you missed me, didn't you?
Wolfram, my liege, if I may, thank you very much for recounting your story, but bring us back onto topic if that's at all possible.
Yes, what do you want from me?
Well, I mentioned earlier about an emissary meeting. Would that be something you would be interested in? It would be an opportunity for, as you say, to get back at the Tempest brand, hopefully eventually. We would ideally want Voros to be separated from his contingent. We understand, and I'm sure you're very well aware of the protocol around engagements from the Tempest brand. So we very much enjoy the opportunity to have a word in private with the spy.
Yes, I can make that happen. Emissary Voros.
Yes.
Very well. I will make it so.
And if there is anything we can do for you, do shout. I think we owe you that much.
Well, you can find a solution.
There is one other matter as well. I believe you assigned one of your magisters to look into this issue with the planet-born dead.
Oh yes, right.
AKA the big green murder ball of death.
I guess a couple
That's
of
what I
things.
call it.
Do you know if there's been any progress on that? And Aaron-
I haven't been keeping track of that too much, but I will ask my magisters about it.
do you think it would be possible for them to liaise with Erin? She's looking to start doing some research into it herself after the wedding.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if I can do that without the Tempest brand knowing, and they don't really like me working very much with Erin. I can see what I can do. If I organize some sort of dead drop, maybe, where you can hand deliver the whatever
a kick,
stuff there is.
yeah, if she was able to get a kickstart on her research, that would be useful.
Yes, it's good to hear that she's back.
Yes. I guess. Well, will you be going to the wedding? No. No.
No, unfortunately, her king's duties don't allow him to leave the capital that often. Especially not for someone who has wound up the Tempest brand so dearly in the past. I'm trying to have quite a low profile right now, not make too many enemies.
Sensible.
Yes, I'm trying to keep my my enemies close, as they say.
Right then. Okay, so I suppose if we sort out the details of this dead drop and then maybe include information about the meeting in that, or what?
Well, if I send a message out to the Tempest brand about Emissary Voros, he should come quite quickly. Usually they only come in a couple of days. So
Do you have somewhere to hide us in the palace for 2 days?
Or we could live at an, or we could
No.
spend a few nights at the inn.
I mean, you could stay here.
Where would the meeting be? Would that be in
Could be here as well.
here as well?
I'll have to think of some cover story about why I want an emissary of the Tempest brand. I might say that I need religious counselling or something.
Well, I mean, there is a potential upcoming event. It would be weird for you to try and get some information about that.
Yes, yes.
Very well. Thank you very much for your time, Elish.
Yes, I hope that things get better soon.
I fear they're going to get much worse before they get better.
Yes, I fear the same. I fear that we've seen nothing yet.
Okay. Are we? So are we staying in this room, or are we gonna like?
Well, as Wolfram is beginning to put his cloak on, you begin to hear bells, sort of like alarm, like emergency bells ringing in the courtyard, sort of muffled, obviously, and like echoing through the tunnel you've just come through. And you hear soldiers marching about upstairs and rushing around. And Wolfram sort of looks puzzled and says, "What is that about?"
Oh no.
Oh no.
And you hear this sort of like roar, this like pained scream from something deep and booming, like. Do you rush outside the tunnel? Have a look.
Sure.
Of course.
Okay, so
Yay!
Disguises?
Yes.
you'll rush outside.
Disguises?
Disguises on or not?
Yeah, let's do it for now.
Yeah.
It's concentration though, so it might drop. But if we get in a fight, that's fine.
You're gonna have to recast it then, shouldn't it?
Yay. Okay.
I don't think we need disguises on. We're allowed
don't-
outside of the castle.
Well, I mean,
this is inside the
Shunnock,
castle.
do you cast it when you're running through the tunnel or not?
No.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, so you get outside the end of the tunnel, and in the sky you see this huge dragon circling around the town. Looks like it's got a big chunk torn out of its wing, and it looks like it's been
Oh,
no.
it looks like it's been flying for a long time, and
Is it red?
it's no, it's actually white.
Okay.
And you see that there's multiple like scratches and it's bleeding quite deeply, and it just begins to tumble out the sky, landing just sort of near the courtyard of the palace and just sort of like just like collapsing there. And as it sort of like collapses on the ground as it lands, it turns into a humanoid form.
I'm gonna run up to see if it's
Yeah,
alright.
Gira would too.
Yeah, so you see that the dragon that's collapsed is unconscious, lying there. It's a dragonborn woman who's wearing like a sort of torn holy robe and not really. You don't recognize the face, obviously, but something about the presence of her seems familiar somehow.
The party.
Yeah. But she's unconscious currently, and so you rush up, Chinook, and she's there on the ground as loads of guards begin to approach.
I am going to immediately cast.
It's Melindra.
I don't have any healing spells. I changed my spell. I do have mass cure wounds. If people want to.
Is it like a status effect, or is it just like pure like
It's just damage.
damage?
Yeah, she's like taking loads of damage and then sort of collapsed, like I'm gone unconscious in the sky, and just fallen out of the sky and landed there.
Gira's gonna cast heal on it.
Okay.
Is it
Yeah.
Melindra? Was she a dragonborn?
Yeah, no, well, no, she could change form, couldn't she? It was like possessing someone, wasn't it? Effect, so it could be her.
So
they took damage and then became humanoid. So
We'll see.
I think you.
So so you begin to pump the healing magic into the unconscious dragonborn woman. As she awakens, she sees you all above and says, "Oh, good, I have come to see you." And you recognize that her voice is the voice of Melindra.
Okay, yeah, we were right. Okay, cool.
And Wolfram's like, "What is the meaning of this? What's going on? There's so many people around here. Let's get quick, go inside."
Yeah, I'll help drag her inside.
Okay, so
She
you pick her up and she's sort of limping along.
Dragging her inside. Sorry.
She
Shut up.
says, the second you get inside, she says, "They're coming."
Who's coming?
As she says that, you hear a roar in the sky.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Over the town of the city of VL, as you see in the sky, 3 large dragons appear on the horizon and
Are they
begin
red?
descending. One is red, one is black, and one is blue.
Do we just not give up?
Are these similar in size to the red one that we saw before?
Yes.
Okay.
Wolfram, get inside.
So you see, as one of the dragons flies over the city, just begins spiraling, as the 2 others just dash straight down. One of them lands on the side of the palace, gripping into it with its claws, just sending like rubble and debris everywhere, whilst another one lands on one of the Tempest brand like cathedrals that's further down in the city, like maybe half a mile or 3/4 of a mile away. Just tearing the bell tower off, which just crumbles off, and just begins shooting flames into the courtyard. The one who the one who landed on the tower is the red one, shooting flames. The one who lands into the this one is the black one, roaring, and then there's one circling overhead. Yeah, what do you want to do?
Cry.
Are these 3 like adult dragons, ancient dragons? What the fuck?
They look like adult dragons.
Okay, so
So,
huge.
Wolfram, do you have means to deal with this, or do we need to?
Right, so just I think they're gonna need us for this.
You hear another roar as you hear then this as you see out of one of the windows, this like massive stream of acid just spray out over the courtyard and just begin melting all these guards who are like starting to throw rocks and arrows.
Alright, Gira goes into
alright,
the building very quickly.
Yeah.
Are we
Let's
not?
just-
Are we not gonna fight them, or are we just gonna teleport away?
Well,
Tells Wolfram, do you want help or?
was she? So the city's image.
I mean,
How much you gonna pay us?
you know, we charge an hourly rate. We've helped you before.
Wolfram's at the moment more on the side of just let's get cover and get away from it.
Yeah, I think I agree for now. Until we figure out what the hell to do. I don't think you just blindly fight 3 big dragons.
Yeah, alright, we'll get it.
The dragons are actually just going across the city at the moment, just tearing shit up. Like you now start to see the entire religious ward of the city out of one of the windows is just like catching fire. There's this dragon just breathing fire indiscriminately on the houses, and now the dragon that's spiraling above begins to just descend and goes right into the market where you teleported, and is just picking people up by the claw load, just flying in the air and just dropping them over the town.
Okay, Wolfram, oh, sorry, my liege, do you want to come with us, or do you want to stay here?
I think I'm gonna stay here.
Really? You want to stay here? You don't want to come with us?
Where are you going?
Well, do you want help, or are we just gonna teleport away?
Help us!
What? Okay.
Yeah, teleport away if that's
I
what you're
just
thinking.
feel like we oh, all right. I thought they'd just probably leave after they've torn up the
Well,
bit.
I'm going to cast Demiplane, make a door, and just say, Wolfram, get in there. You'll be safe.
Breathe, breathe.
What? Where does that go?
I don't know. Just get in. It's another dimension.
He's hesitating.
Roxanne says you can
It's
get
just-
him
it's
back
like a-
right when he goes in there.
It's a pocket dimension. You can breathe there. Don't worry, you'll be safe. We'll get you in a minute.
Make a persuasion check.
I mean, Robson could just pick him up and throw him in,
I
right?
could just throw him.
Is that me or Morna?
Both of you.
Oh no.
28.
Nice.
He says, he says, okay, I guess, and steps through and vanishes.
Alright,
It's like a door that opens.
Is Melindra there?
Right.
But yeah, Melindra says, no,
Okay.
don't go out, don't go out. That's what they want. They want to draw you out.
Yeah, Gira says, I have a stinking feeling they're after you, Melindra. Right now.
We don't.
I came to deliver a warning.
What warning?
What, that there are dragons coming? Well, we got that. Thanks.
No, that Naxas has declared war on mortal realms.
Oh, shit.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
On the mortal realm.
Yeah, on the mortal realms of Erd, yeah.
Okay.
That's another
fuck.
thing we've now got to deal with. Oh,
They heard that Master Mantha was still alive. I told them. I didn't realize they were evil.
Oh, well, they're in the wrong places. They want her.
Yes, luckily you didn't really tell me very well where she was. So they just come over to where I met you.
so they're just following you, basically.
I didn't know they'd turned evil by the time I returned.
We must draw them away from the city at once.
They'll kill me if I go.
Well,
Oh,
They're
a lot
faster
more
than
people
us.
are gonna die.
Shonak, Scrimshaw, can you cast a form of illusion of a dragon or something to fly away? It might not last long.
Yes,
but
let
we
me
could-
cast summon dragon.
No, an
don't have-
illusion.
Illusions of dragons.
I don't have anything like that.
Okay.
No,
No
me
worries.
neither.
No worries.
I can make them dance.
No, it's ridiculous.
That would be pretty funny, but I don't think it'd be very helpful at this point.
Every moment we stand here doing it, people are dying out there. Just to
I mean,
warn you.
if we go fight, I can trap one while we fight the others.
That could work.
Can we draw them out of the city as we go?
I think as long as we wound them sufficiently where they know that they can't fight us and then they leave. I don't know if we should specifically go to kill them as much as wound them as much as we can. If we can maybe kill them, sure, but at least wound them enough so that they fuck off.
They might not, as you say, fuck off just because you're hurting.
Well then carry on and kill them, but like
The palace shakes as the roof begins to crack and some masonry begins to fall.
Right,
What?
making a decision. Let's go clobber.
Well,
Okay, let's go.
no, this is a terrible idea.
Well, then what do you want to do?
I say we
unless you want to let the city burn.
we can't. We need to divert their eye or something from the city. If we can
How are
draw
you
them
gonna
out,
do
and
that?
fight them in the middle of the countryside, then fine. I don't think fighting in the middle of the city is a very good idea.
Right, well then this one needs to get up and fly away.
I'm not fast enough.
Not you.
What?
I was pointing to the Lindra, not you.
Oh,
I wouldn't be able to lead them away from the city before they got me.
Melindra, every second, countless civilians are
How
dying. If you can...
about we hold them for a bit, give you enough time to get away, and then we let them fly after you.
They're not after me. They're after you.
No.
Then
but if we're on
how
your back,
about no? Melindra was too wounded.
she has just
how
been
about-
healed.
How much heal is it?
70.
70.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's on 70 hit points. Like, if she starts flying off, there's a chance that 3 dragons just immediately descend on her and kill her.
Well, Melindra, may I suggest Roxon? You show her where the sewer entrance is, and she escapes out there. The tunnel's gone for a long time. She can stay in there for a little while, and then we go through the city, get their attention, and go through the gates as fast as we can. I'm just.
I could maybe try asking Hakul for help. Hmm.
No.
Can you make us the size of them so we can have what's the Super
I could
Saiyan
try
style
casting-
battle?
Kaiju battle.
Kaiju battle, yeah.
I could try casting Planner
Power
Ally
Rangers.
and get something to come around and try and hurt them a bit more.
Or
You know,
something, or maybe something fast.
Or something fast, even.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. I mean, we have to do something. Otherwise, the whole
Alright.
city is going to be murdered under our watch.
All right, well, let's stop there, and maybe we can have a think about it over the next week.
Cool.
Sure. Cool.
Right. Shit.
Cool.
Yeah, so as the sun begins to set in VL, you notice as the city begins to burn, the moon is shining a blood red
Yeah.
as the Wrath of the Dragon seems to have begun. Right, well,
Right. Thanks for the game.
yeah, do you want to end the stream?
Sure. See
I'm
ya.
gonna have to get going.